money flows in the direction of value. Value is offered through trade and exchange. That value sits at the base of any kind of monetization. You have to sell it to someone who desperately has need for it. There must be a desperate need or demand for that value that you are offering. Offer it to someone who can also pay for it. On my first try, I made $18,000. I would share with you or take you through the process, what things you need to do, what things you need to understand to monetize your idea or skill. No matter who you are, a creator, a creative, a business person, whatever space you find yourself, these things will apply to you if you really want to convert your ideas or skills to money. One common fact that has been established throughout history is that money flows in the direction of value. This statement, of course, is relevant anywhere, anytime there is a business transaction or exchange. Welcome to Business Playbook. My name is Joe. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how to monetize your idea and skills successfully. I have had a couple of things at monetizing different ideas and skill sets. Of course, they have been profitable in most of the cases, and that is why I want to share that with you. On my first try, I made $18,000 out of it. I think you could also employ some of my strategies. Of course, you must have something of value to sell that addresses a customer pain point. A key cash phrase in this video you would always come across is money flows in the direction of value. And that is why you would find out that those are few persons who provide outstanding value in the marketplace are the most sought after. That being said, offering value that people need and are willing to pay for is one of the most productive propositions or activities that anyone can do to convert to money. Note these and always have this at the back of your mind, that value sits at the base of any kind of monetization. Plainly speaking, you can't make money or monetize an idea or skill without offering something of value. Value creation is the funnel through which money flows. No matter what things you do, no matter what businesses you find yourself, value creation is the funnel that ensures that money comes in. You have an inflow or influx of money. If anyone of business will part with their money, they would want something of value in return. Of course, this establishes another great point, that value is offered through trade or exchange. Take this again. This establishes another important point, that value is offered through trade and exchange. So trading value is one of the key drivers of monetization. Of course, when you understand these and you apply it accordingly, you begin to create opportunities for you to make money from your skill or idea. One of my successful business friends said something of value that got me thinking the first time I met with him. He said, the golden rule for making money or monetizing an idea or skill is to offer something or sell something of value to someone who needs it and also has the capacity to pay for it. That statement struck a chord that set me on course. That golden rule I want to take again. The golden rule for making money or monetizing an idea or skill is to sell something of value to someone who needs it and can also pay for it. That statement in itself is a complete full business course. You know, the cycle of monetization is never complete without the three parts that make up that quote. One, sell something of value that addresses a pain point. It must be an irresistible value proposition. You have to sell it to someone who desperately has need for it. There must be a desperate need or demand for that value that you are offering. And thirdly, you must present it or offer it to someone who can also pay for it. So the purchasing power to transact is part of the key variables that make up that particular quote, the golden rule for making money or monetizing an idea or skill. So before we can actually talk about money making or monetizing an idea or skill, one as a matter of fact must consider that what they are offering is of value and it is also invaluable. I can't get over talking about this, that whatever you're offering must be seen to be both valuable and invaluable, must be seen to be both of value and invaluable. Thinking across businesses from the banking sector, the organized sector, to street hawking, the informal sector, and the like, offering value is a key component of the monetization process. So I would share with you or take you through the process, what things you need to do, what things you need to understand to monetize your idea or skill. No matter who you are, a creator, a creative, a business person, whatever space you find yourself, these things will apply to you if you really want to convert your ideas or skills to money. So here are the nitty-gritties of how to monetize your idea or skills. One, find what to sell. Of course, in finding what to sell, it means you're looking for a gap, you're looking for a void, you're looking for a pain point or a need that can be filled or solved profitably. It could be a product, it could be a service, it could be an idea, it could be an expertise, or your experience that you've garnered over the years doing a particular thing. There isn't a limit to what range of things to sell. So this generally boils down to what problems you are able to solve, what your expertise can solve, or what your experience can also solve. Everything that you need to really talk about when it comes to, filling a gap, of course, starts with having a need that people want desperately to be solved. So I'll quickly talk about gaps before I continue. A gap can be something that is completely new, it's something that's never been in existence. On the other hand, it can also be something that already exists but needs to be improved upon. That's the second one. And thirdly, it can also be something that already exists but can appeal to a new market if positioned properly or differently. It could mean selling what is already in existence or what is already in demand, but in a differently new way or to a different target completely from what it is. So I'll take that quickly again. A gap can be something that is completely new, something that never existed. It can also be something that exists but needs to be improved upon. It can also be something that already exists but can appeal to a new market if it is deliberately or properly repositioned. That's it all for gaps. I hope that helps you to understand when you want to profile your solution or profile your ideas or skills for service. You could know exactly what gaps you're trying to fill. You may be thinking, exactly where do you start from? You have an idea, you have a skill. Where do you start from? A good point is starting with yourself. Understanding that you are both a product or a service can open doors to money-making opportunities you never thought about. My point is, start with selling yourself. You can sell yourself as a tangible product or a service. And how would you do that? Follow me. In the next few minutes, I'll be able to, put you through the things you need to do to actualize that. And here's how to do it. One, have people pay you for your skill or as a freelancer. People can pay you for your skill as a freelancer. People can pay you for your skill as a service provider. There are platforms where you can trade your skills. There is Fiverr, there is Upwork, there is Behance, there is Freelancer, there is Dribble, there is FlexJob, there is another that's called People Per Hour, there is ServiceKeep, there is Design Hill and the like. More specifically, if you're good at administrative or technical jobs, which include web development, social media management, or finance consulting, here are some freelance websites that I would actually recommend that you try out. There is Upwork, there is Top Tall, and there is Jubo. All of these would help you if you are someone who is handy with administrative or technical jobs, like I mentioned earlier. Meanwhile, if you're looking for creative job platforms, if you're a writer, a graphic designer, a creative, an illustrator, here are some of the best freelance websites to engage if you really mean it. There is Fiverr, there is Flex Jobs, and Dribble. Of course, there are a couple of others that you can explore, but this few that I've mentioned could be a starting point for you, where you are able to monetize your skill as a freelancer or as a service provider. I'll still talk a little more about that. A solution provider, if you are a solution provider, here are the few things that you can do. But let me talk a bit about a solution provider, someone who offers comprehensive coverage of products and services within a particular domain. You consolidate them into a single source. Some of these services can include customized service agreements, consulting services, as well as necessary supplies and spare parts that can be given or can be sold to those who have need for it. The goal is to help customers get a comprehensive package that addresses their needs within specific areas so that they can focus on their core business. As a service provider, one thing you really want to do is to find areas that businesses do not intend to focus on because it's not their core. And so you offer those services to them, but you can turn them into a package, a comprehensive package that will help them solve that problem while they focus on what they know how to do best. This solution is suitable for customers seeking to outsource a complete area of expertise. Such expertise could include transport and logistics. Of course, we've seen that happen. It could be internet service, it could be gas refill, it could be cleaning and laundry services, among others. The list is long. Of course, that is for you to do your research and find out what services these customers are willing to outsource so that they can focus on their core work. The idea behind the service provider model is that businesses or individuals pay someone to be their solution provider. I bet you there are 1,001 businesses that have this as what they want to do. They're looking for someone or some company or agency that can provide the services to them while they focus on their core business. So if you're to find this, or if you're to engage in doing this kind of business, the best way to identify this is to find customer pain points, then turn them into business opportunities that you can make a living or earn something from. The idea behind the solution provider model is that businesses or individuals want to pay someone to be the solution provider. Who is a solution provider? A solution provider offers comprehensive coverage of products and services within a particular domain and consolidates it into a single source or into a single package. This kind of service includes customized service agreements between the service provider and the company or customers they're working for. It also includes consulting services as well as necessary supplies and spare parts, as the case may be. The goal is to help the customers get a comprehensive package that addresses their needs within a specific area so that they can focus on their core business. Of course, for this to be suitable, it must be that the customer is looking to outsource certain parts or complete area of expertise. And this expertise could include but not limited to transport and logistics, internet service, gas refill, cleaning and laundry services. The list is long. Of course, that research is for you to carry out considering your target. So the idea behind the solution provider model is that businesses do not want to handle a particular aspect of expertise. So they seek someone they call the solution provider that can take off the burden off of their shoulders. So you can find the best ways to identify customers' pain points and then turn them into new business propositions or opportunities. Find a suite of products and services that you can bundle to give your customer the most beneficial results and value for money. These two are very important. It must be that the suite of products that you're offering must be beneficial to the customer and must also be deemed to have value for money. Of course, this requires a lot of unbox thinking methods and application of your ideas. Another way that you can monetize your skill or idea is to have people pay you for employment as an in-house staff. Of course, these are the common things that we are used to, that we are exposed to, where you offer your skill set or service to a particular company, agency, or organization, and you are paid after a predetermined period of time, which is usually monthly. Of course, you do not have a fixed set of hours for work when you do this, but then it's surely one of the ways that you can monetize your idea or skill. Another way is you can also work on a retainer contract. What is a retainer contract? It is a structured agreement where a client agrees to pay you a specific money, either as a business or as an individual, for you to offer specific services that have been agreed upon. Of course, you are expected to put in a particular number of hours or offer some particular values for it to be deemed that the contract has been fully consummated. This contract provides you with stable monthly payments and ensures that, of course, the customer in return or the client in return has a workforce that they can always fall back on whenever they need something done. The retainer can be paid upfront, it can be paid after the first month of work, but the idea around the retainer contract is that you are assured of being paid for services by certain clients. Of course, you are also going to be offering something of value in return. Remember, I've always said this, that for you to monetize an idea or skill, you must be able to offer value. The interesting thing about the retainer contract is you can work with quite a number of clients, agencies, or businesses, as the case may be, if you are able to find them. A retainer agreement is a work for hire contract between a business, an individual, or an agency. Of course, they are expected to provide professional services. Of course, it's unlike the permanent employment where a business pays its employee a salary irrespective of the number of hours put in. Of course, those are two different things, but they are in a way or two related. The fourth way that you can monetize your skill or idea is to have people pay you for products that you create. And it is important to note that there are ways you can create products, digital products or digital services. A digital product is something that is intangible and does not contain physical stock. Of course, such products do not require shipping or physical handling. Examples of such includes subscriptions of software and even content as well. It also includes memberships. In case you have a solution that you're offering, you can have people pay membership for them to gain access to that particular program that you have created. It could be courses as well. It could be digital music if you are a creative musician. It could be downloads, it could be ebooks, it could be movies or other products. And the other type is you offering digital services depending on your skill and expertise. So I'll just be talking about a few depending on what would catch your interest in all of this. There is a digital service that can have to do with analytics and data tracking, where you create or advise businesses on tools that they can use to monitor user behavior, their website traffic, and customer interactions as crucial for understanding the preferences and making informed decisions and optimizing user experience. So you can create something that has a service that can analyze and track data. Another one is to create content managed systems. Of course, there are a couple of content management systems out there that people or businesses have already created. Yours could just be to advise, to guide businesses that are yet to engage in using some of these. Of course, you can create content management platform that help companies and individuals manage and update digital content effectively. Analytics and data tracking. You can create or advise businesses on tools that they can use to monitor user behavior, website traffic, customer interaction, so that they can understand user preferences. They can make informed decisions and optimize user experience. Another is to create or advise on content management systems. You can create them actually, but there are a couple of them that are out there. So you can advise companies or help them to install this so that they can manage and update their digital content efficiently. There is also customer relationship management software. You can offer customer relationship software tools or advise businesses to use this to manage their business interactions with their customers. It can also help them to track leads so that they can provide personalized services to their customers. Another is digital marketing solutions. You can help companies or individuals on search engine optimization. You can help them on social media management. You can help them on email marketing. You can help them to actualize their paid advertising so that they can reach wider audience. Of course, this depends on the skill or expertise that you have. Of course, if you don't do this, you can actually get the services of another. You can refer, you can advise businesses to get this done. You don't have to necessarily do these things before you're able to monetize these ideas. Another is the e-commerce platform. There are a lot of businesses that are offering products and services that are yet to go online. You can help them get their products online so that they can start using these e-commerce platforms to facilitate online transactions, inventory management, and other processing. There is another that's also important, which is inventory management services. There are lots of businesses with volume of stock that are yet to use inventory services. You don't necessarily have to be skilled in this area to monetize it. It could just be an idea that you can come up with and monetize effectively. You could recommend it, you could have someone design it, or facilitate the process of having these people move their businesses from the regular brick and mortar so that they can start making use of services like inventory management. There is a lot that you can explore around there. Of course, these are just a few that I have mentioned. There's a lot more. You can carry out your research and have this done. Number 5, you can have people pay you as an ideation consultant or idea creator. These are one of the things I love and I get paid by clients for. Ideation consulting, it's something that I love so much. Let's talk about it briefly. Ideation is the creative process of generating ideas, developing ideas, and communicating them, whether they are new or they are existing ideas. Of course, it's important to note that these ideas don't have to be completely new. And when people talk about idea creation, they feel like it has to be something that is new. No, it doesn't have to be completely new. But if done right, ideation can help founders, can help businesses, can help agencies, can help executives determine the right problem to solve and how to solve it. So if you are one who has the capacity to generate ideas, to develop them and communicate them effectively well so that they can solve problems, ideation consultancy or ideation consulting is something that you should look at. Ideation consulting has to do with ideating to solve specific problems. Solving problems is a core part of ideation consulting. Ideation is often specifically aimed at problem solving. For example, a production manager at a company may be charged with coming up with ideas on how to reduce production costs. Now, this can also be done by another person who has the ideas and can propose this to such companies. So you found a company that you think they spend a lot or they invest a lot in the cost of producing whatever service or product, and you feel you have an idea that can help them reduce those costs. Of course, you are in the space of ideation consulting, and it is something that you can make money from. You can also ideate to look into new or better ways of implementing a solution. You have found businesses in particular niches or spaces that you think you can help them find better ways of implementing their solution. You have the ideas. You know how to go about helping them do it better than they currently do it. That's another thing that you can explore. Of course, before you can talk about being an ideation consultant, here are some ideation techniques that you have to look at. There is brainstorming and prototyping. Brainstorming and prototyping are essential steps in idea product development. Brainstorming and prototyping help you generate, test and refine your product ideas before you invest money and time into developing it. At this point, one of the most important things is it helps you to determine whether or not you want to focus on that. So brainstorming and prototyping are very core parts of the ideation process. Of course, there are other ones that I'll just list in passing. There is roadmap. You can design roadmap. A roadmap is a visual way to connect strategy to actual work so that you can deliver against your set goals. So you would need to embrace designing of roadmaps. You can also create mind maps. Mind maps are visual diagrams used to represent words, ideas, thoughts, or other items linked to and arranged around a central idea. Another is to develop storyboard. Storyboarding is about arranging and categorizing ideas and solutions in a linear format and order. It's best done after you have brainstormed and prototyped your ideas. Of course, you don't want to get into something that you would end up not doing. So the first thing is brainstorming and prototyping. After that has been done, then the storyboarding can come about. These are techniques you must definitely have if you are the type that finds love in ideating or in idea consulting. There is another, of course, it's not the last one. There are a list of others that you can embrace, but I'll just stop with this: working with mental models. A mental model is a simplified representation of a complex system or process that helps you understand how things work. And if you're going to be in the space of ideation consulting, of course, these are the things and many more that you should work with: brainstorming and prototyping, designing roadmaps, creating mind maps, developing storyboards, working with mental models that can help you simplify whatever the task you are at. As an idea creator, you should be able to come up with ideas that translate into concepts. Your goal is not just to come up with ideas. No, anyone can come up with ideas, but the ability to translate these ideas into concept and then take a step further, moving from concept to productizing whatever concept that you have come up with, is one great thing that an idea creator or ideation consultant should be versed with. In other words, you should be able to generate ideas and develop them so that they look appealing to companies and individuals who would be willing to pay for it. They could decide to pay a recurring fee, they could decide to pay a one-off fee, or they could even go ahead to pay you royalty for such ideas. In another way, you would think of yourself as a think tank, one who researches problems. You see the kind of challenges that businesses are having, you decide to, look into them, research them, come up with solutions that you can profile to their problems. Of course, for a profit, you'll be paid for that if you do it rightly. Companies are faced with problems that they try to solve every now and then. And of course, having someone who can help them through this process wouldn't be a bad idea. If you have the right ideas, you can sell or license it to these companies. You will have to sell these ideas to the stakeholders or targets who need it. You must be a person who is capable of communicating your ideas with ease. Your storytelling game has to be top notch. And of course, you should be great at delivering these ideas using the right tools. That is why it's important to understand the different ideation tools, strategies and techniques. It's very, very important because ideation in itself goes beyond just having an idea. It goes beyond that. It goes further to conceptualizing the idea, productizing the idea, and ensuring that it's market ready or market fit. The sixth way that you can monetize your idea or skill is to have people pay you for your expertise or experience. Nowadays, experience and expertise are really in high demand. You can package your expertise or experience as a consulting solution or advisory, as the case may be. Of course, I'm going to run you through how that works, and here's how it works. An advisor, if you're working as an advisor, you typically work with clients on a long-term basis. You're providing advice on an ongoing basis. Of course, businesses will always have challenges. Even if they don't have challenges, at certain points, businesses think of repositioning. At some other points, businesses think about what new thing they want to bring on board. Of course, as an advisor to that business, you are relevant at that point. You have to create something of value or advise them to get into that as a business advisor. Have people pay you for your expertise or experience. That's another way that you can monetize your ideas and skills. Experience and expertise are in high demand. You can package your expertise and experience both as a consulting solution or as an advisory package. As a business advisor, one of the things you do is help businesses on a long-term basis by providing advice for their business challenges. Chances are you have something, a network, an idea, a skill, a valuable expertise or experience that can be monetized. Here's what I learned early enough. Anything can become valuable if leveraged properly. In 2012, a client gave me a $300 check for writing an HR proposal for him. In the same year, I went on to consult for his company as an idea creator when he was awarded the trade fair franchise. I was crucial to the ideation process. Of course, from concept to productization, I was all through the process. I offered and I suggested enterprising ideas as well as resources that he needed to kickstart the trade fair franchise. Of course, this sort of hit off the light bulb in my head that I could write for money and I could also provide ideas to individuals and businesses just because of that encounter that I had with that client of mine. Following the same model, in the last quarter of 2012, close to the end of that year, I hit off an $18,000 deal to close out the year. This only happened because of the insight I learned early on. Anything can become valuable if leveraged properly. I replicated the same playbook and sold my skills and ideas to a few other companies. That was one brilliant way I started my idea solution enterprise. I have been talking about finding what to sell. Of course, the different ways you can find something to sell. I've talked about a couple of them that I would think you should spend time going through one after the other. The second thing is to find a profit margin that is profitable. Profitability is one of the metrics that define if you are successful in doing business. Of course, if you're not making money, then you're not in business. So profitability is one of the metrics that you must define if you really want to be sure that you're doing well in business. This means you need to keep your eyes on creative ways to remain profitable. Of course, how much you get to make is tied to your profit margin. So it is important that you understand how to make the right profit when you are offering or when you're trying to monetize your idea or skill. The goal should be to find a profit margin formula that will make you more money with the least amount of cost or the least amount of energy exerted. I'll take that again. You need to find a formula that helps you to make a lot more money with the least amount of money or the least amount of cost and the least amount of energy exerted. So it would be out of place for you to have put in so much and you get so little at the end of the day. Flowing with this will help you get it right. Many times, beautiful ideas, beautiful opportunities go to waste because profit wasn't maximized. So finding a profitable or a suitable margin that caters to the value that you're offering is as important as making money itself. You have to find a profit margin that makes you good money so that you don't end up just working over laboring yourself and not getting it right. So here are the strategies I think you can try out. I've applied some of these strategies and of course they have worked for me. The first one is to think of a product or a service that is low cost but offers you high margins. So you need to do your research in this by looking for products or services that you can offer that are low cost. Of course, you can get them produced at low cost. You can source for them at low cost, but it must offer you high margins. The second is you can also think of offering service activity or a process, an idea or expertise that provides high value, yet it will allow you to charge high margins or fees as it were. Looking for high value that gives you high margin. The first I talk about is low costs, then high margin. This next one is high value, then high margins. And of course, if you're able to make this work out for you, you know you're up to something really, really big. What about choosing to sell some service or product at a high price, then mark up for high margins? You would like to call that a premium or luxury niche. This usually requires you add a dimension of service to a generic product or service. Of course, when you do this, that particular generic product or service ceases to be a mere commodity. Or you should know this, playing in this kind of niche means you are not offering value for all and sundry. This third one talks about particularly focusing on specific targeted groups or businesses or high net worth individuals. It's not for everyone. If you're going to play in this space where you do high price and make high margins, of course, you must understand it that it's not for everyone. Not everyone can pay for that. Any of these three will work well, of course, depending on the target or segment you're focused on. But it is important that you understand your customers or the targets that you are preferring some of these services to. The third way, another way that you can monetize your idea profitably is to sell something that ensures recurring revenue. A product or service that isn't modeled to be a one-off transaction creates avenues for you to making recurring revenue. You're not looking for that one-time business. You start now and you end it the next few minutes. Of course, you're looking for businesses that give you an opportunity to make recurring revenue. You could package services, you could package products. This is one sure way that businesses, freelancers, service providers maintain a growing inflow of money. Whatever you choose to sell, make sure it is something that guarantees repeat transactions and returning customers. Sell something that ensures recurring revenue. A product or service that isn't modeled to be a one-off transaction that creates avenues to making recurring revenue. This is one sure way that businesses, creatives, freelancers, or service providers maintain a growing inflow of money. Whatever you choose to sell, make sure it's something that guarantees repeat transactions and returning customers. While it is true that some business offerings can be more suitable than others when it comes to recurring revenue, however, any business can be set up for recurring revenue if it is carefully planned. Let me share with you some businesses that can benefit from the recurring revenue model. Follow me. The first one is content-based businesses. If you run a content-based business such as digital, social, and print media or content business, you can structure your business on a recurring revenue model. You can do this by charging customers a regular fee to access your content. Content-based companies retain their customers by publishing regularly new content and interesting ones that engage their customers. For instance, you would have used or of course you know someone who has made use of Netflix and Prime by Amazon. These businesses are so focused for on-demand videos. Of course, they do a lot around movies, documentaries, shows, and the related. Of course, to access some of these, you need to make payments monthly, as the case may be. You have a subscription that allows you access to their particular vault of on-demand videos. Of course, they are also structured in different categories. There is one that allows maybe 2 users, 3 users, or so, family usage, and all of that. Of course, those are contents, and that's an example of a content-based business that has done it so well. So you could actually look up their model, Netflix and Prime, and see how they run it. You could structure something around yours to work in that direction, or better still, in a better way than they do it. Of course, what I always advise people is find a way and adapt it to the locality or the environment you find yourself. There is Spotify. Spotify is a music streaming platform that also makes use of this kind of model. Of course, it's a content-based platform. There is the free version, and of course, there is the paid version. The free version has in between the music being streamed interrupted by adverts. And if you do not want the adverts, you can decide to pay for the actual subscription, which is void of adverts. Of course, it allows you access to tons of music from different genres, from R&B to the like Afro beats and related, whatever things. Of course, it's not limited to music alone. There is also podcasts on Spotify. There are other music streaming platforms like that. Yeah, you've also found, of course, that there are some software application that you have to subscribe to. You renew them when you make use of them. You renew them monthly. A case in time is one of the apps that I use for editing. Filmora, for instance, you have to pay monthly, or you have to pay for a year before you're able to make use of it. There are other people who do content too. Newsletters can be content. There are newsletters that are subscribed to. Some are free, some are paid for. There is AWS, of course, they give cloud service for data storage, and this is another content based business. There is also beauty and wellness advisory and consultancy. Of course, these people help people to keep up their beauty and of course their wellness, but they offer services that not everyone can access at a time except they pay for it. There are specialist businesses that do this. So if you find your business in spaces like this, you can also design yours to be a content-based business. Another is social media content creation. There are businesses that just are set up for the purpose of designing or creating social media content for businesses. Remember, I said once in the course of this video that some businesses will like to focus on the core of their business. So they outsource what is not their core to those who can help them do that. If you find yourself having a skill or ideas that you can make happen for businesses that would need social media content. Of course, you can monetize this, you can present it to them and make money out of it. The second one is service-based businesses. A service-based business is one that provide customers with a service that they want to use on regular basis. Of course, these services are paid for and accessed for a predetermined period of time, and of course, they are renewed periodically, depending on the terms of contract. Some of the services, I would list some of them. Some I will talk about. Gym as a service. Of course, in the city of Lagos and far wide Nigeria, there is a particular brand that has created gym as a service. iFitness, of course, some of you are aware of it. If you do not live in Nigeria, there are other ones out there that also offer gym as a service. Of course, there is web solution as a service. And how does this work for web development services? Of course, an individual or an agency can decide to package products and services that suits their targeted clients for web solution. Consulting as a service is another one. I've talked about that briefly. Consulting as a service. Of course, you on short-time basis, you provide consultancy services to selected businesses that you know you have the expertise and experience to profile solutions to their problems. So consulting as a service is another one that you can explore. There is also car hailing as a service. Of course, there are many car hailing apps, taking car hailing from just the traditional method to another contemporary day use, using the facilities of technology to ensure that this becomes a reality. Car hailing services such as Bolt, such as Uber, such as InDriver have been able to do a lot of it. There's Lyft also around the world. They've been able to do great and mighty works in this space because they employed the use of technology to facilitate this service. Of course, there is social media management as a service. If you are someone who is gifted or skilled in this space, social media management can be a service. There are many businesses that do not have the time to manage their socials. So you could propose a service in this regard, social media management. I tell you, it's a ton of work for businesses to really focus in, so that they prefer to outsource it to vendors or third-party service providers. So that could be you if you have the skill, and of course you can monetize that adequately. There is gardening as a service. Of course, there are many businesses that have gardens or plants that they want to protect. Of course, you should know that plants help to beautify spaces and environments. Of course, businesses may not have the time to look at this. Not only businesses, there are individuals, families who may need this service. But if you are able to package gardening as a service, if you are skilled in that area, you can make a fortune out of it. Another thing to note is that it doesn't have to be you doing it. You can just build the service where others can make use of it. It doesn't have to be you going out there to use shares to cut off those things, but you can get to design a service that others can leverage upon to offer their services. Car maintenance as a service is another service-based business idea that one can convert to money. There are many boring businesses out there, mechanics who set up but are not well known. Some of these businesses do not have the right invoicing. Some of these businesses do not have the right branding. Some of these businesses as well do not have the right social media presence. You can decide to package car maintenance as a service. Design something around that, from payments, appointments, execution, delivery, and all of that. You can put that into a business that you can call car maintenance as a service. Of course, there is another, you must have seen a couple of them out there, car wash as a service. That's not to say there are not a couple of car wash businesses out there. There are a couple of them, but the question is, are they run in the way that it becomes appealing to people who own cars? There are people who invest a lot in their vehicles who may not just want to dump their car at just any point for car wash. You can design a service around this car wash as a service. It could be based on an appointment. It could be based on the number of times that people can come to have the service weekly. It could also go beyond just the surface washing into proper auto detailing of the interiors. So these things can become services that you can profile to individuals and businesses alike. Of course, there are businesses that have a wide fleet of cars that may need this car wash as a service. Of course, you can decide to propose that to them if that catches your interest. There is also security protection as a service. Of course, this runs in different dimensions. There is individual security, there's workplace security, there are security for domestic residencies and all of that. Designing something that brings value to those who may want to ask for this service would be something of interest. I've seen a couple of security outfits not doing it very well. Of course, they are poorly trained. They are not properly paid. They don't even understand the essence of securing lives and properties. Of course, so if you're able to package this properly as a service, it can be something that businesses and individuals alike can love to try out. I've talked about ideation consulting as a service already. Let's move on to food recipe delivery as a service. This is another service that you can package. You may be a food enthusiast, you may be a chef, you may be someone who just likes to play in that space. Food recipe delivery as a service is something that people are beginning to embrace. Not everyone wants to go out there to eat out. Not everyone out there wants to buy food outside. There are people who are interested in just having the recipe and making the food by themselves. There are people who are that much particular about doing it themselves. So food recipe delivery as a service can be something of interest. Of course, I've talked about software as a service and many others. In my subsequent videos, I would break down some of these service-based businesses. I'll share roadmaps, I would share practical advice and practical ideas. I would share service maps that you can use to build these services. But for now, let's go to the third one. Charging your customers certain fees monthly or yearly to access these services can assure you of recurring revenue. It is one of the many ways you can also monetize a mere commodity in the form of a prime service. When you make something out of nothing, of course, it becomes a prime service. So service-based businesses can choose to make use of these ideas to come up with some unparalleled value. Product-based businesses. Product-based businesses sell products that individuals and businesses use and replace regularly. Think about it this way. There are consumables and replaceables used in households or in businesses. You can package them to generate recurring revenue in various ways. Of course, these products could be sold on subscription basis so that customers receive new products and supplies monthly or weekly, depending on how you are able to package that. Remember, consumables and replaceables are constants in every home and business. Here is a simple strategy to follow if you want to sell something that requires refill, that requires replenishment, that requires restocking, that requires after-sales service or maintenance, or some things that run on subscription or some kind of membership. I've talked about content-based service, I've talked about product-based service, and I've also talked about service-based businesses. One thing connects all of this. Of course, it's how you decide to charge your customers. So you can charge your customers certain fees monthly or yearly to access these services. And what this does for you is assures you of having recurring revenue. It is one of the many ways you can monetize a mere commodity, you just take it from the ordinary and make something extraordinary out of it. Mere commodity that becomes a prime service because you have been able to add some level of value to it. This can happen for product-based services. It can happen for service-based businesses. It can also happen for content-based services. Additionally, product-based businesses sell products that individuals and businesses use and replace regularly. Think about it this way. There are consumables and replaceables used in household and businesses. Of course, they can be packaged to generate recurring revenues in various ways. These products could be sold on subscription basis so that your customers can receive new products or supplies monthly or weekly as the case may be. Here is a simple strategy to follow. Sell something that requires refill. Sell something that requires replenishing. Sell something that requires restocking. Or you can come up with an after-sales service or maintenance, or run some sort of subscription or membership for your customers. Here are a few insights or examples to get you started in case you're thinking of what things you can really do to actualize this idea that I've talked about. There is, for those in the pharmaceutical space, there can be prescription refill. There are people who need to keep their prescription drugs running, and if it gets exhausted, there can be a prescription refill service for those who work in the pharmacy retail space. There can be gas refill for those who are not able to get to the gas station. Of course, there are a few businesses that are doing it. Of course, there are still big opportunities in that space for those who would really want to play around there. There's water refill. We've seen that for those who use water dispenser, there is the refill that happens. A couple of persons in the neighborhood would have to go to a supermarket or drive down to some point far away from their houses to do this refill. There's groceries replenishment for those who make use of groceries and all of that. There is an idea around that point. If you find yourself in a space where you can offer services that can be very valuable and paid for, groceries replenishment is something that you can look into. There is energy or light bill recharge card. These are still ideas that people run. You can package something that goes about that point. People end up paying for light bills by using recharge cards. Of course, there are other solutions that have also worked around that space where people use cards to make this happen. Energy is one of them that has been successfully done. Household and office consumables replenishment. The list goes on and on. There's after sales service, eye repairs and maintenance. There are businesses and homes that need services like that. Here are a few insights or examples to get you started. In the pharmacy space, there's prescription refill. Of course, businesses can be formed around that. In domestic spaces, there is gas refill, water refill, there is groceries replenishment, and there is also energy or light bill recharge card. You don't have to go to the power office to get power units. You can buy that via cards. These are ideas that people have explored. You can also look at household and office consumables replenishment or restocking. These are key things that you can do. There is after sales service. Of course, you're familiar with that, which comes alongside with repairs and maintenance. That makes it very possible for product-based businesses to explore different ideas for refill, replenishment, restocking, after sales service or maintenance. And of course, there is subscription or membership as the case may be. The fourth way is becoming an opportunity broker. An opportunity broker is someone who connects people or businesses to beneficial and viable opportunities. As an opportunity broker, you will fill the valuable gap of business connection. There are businesses that need to connect to the right people. There are businesses that need to connect to the right kind of exchanges. So as an opportunity broker, one thing you do is you connect people or businesses for profitable exchange of value. Doing this can earn you commission fees. It can earn you subscription fees, and of course, consulting fees for providing strategic advice, insights, and expertise related to these opportunities. On a larger scale, you can also earn licensing fees in the case of proprietary knowledge, software, technology, or methodologies. For instance, in the investment space, there are businesses that already have technologies for trading. There are businesses that already have methodologies for investing that they feel is fail-proof. When you use some of these methodologies, technologies, or their software, or even their proprietary knowledge, you get to pay them for making use of that. So if you have if you are an opportunity broker and you believe that you have certain kind of methodologies or proprietary knowledge that can help different businesses connect to get value, of course, you can put a licensing fee to that. But if you must operate in this space, there are certain skills that you must acquire as an opportunity broker. You must be good at networking. You must have good market knowledge. Your negotiation skill has to be top notch. And of course, your problem solving skill has to be there. Sales and marketing, analytical skill. Above all, you must be a person of integrity and trust. Not just anyone can be an opportunity broker. You must be seen to be someone who has integrity and can be trusted. I have been sharing Unlocking Profit, a guide to monetizing your skills and ideas successfully. There is a lot that I have talked about already, but I would prefer you go back through everything that I've talked about. There are a lot of things that I have talked about that can help you monetize your ideas or skills successfully. A lot of them require that you pay special attention to them. A lot of them require that you have certain kinds of skills. A lot of them require that you unlearn some of the things that you've learned over the years to be able to make this happen for you. If you are a creative, if you are a content creator, if you are a person in business, an entrepreneur, this particular video will be useful to you. It will help you monetize your ideas and skills successfully. This is how far we can go on this. Thank you for staying with me all along. It's been a long one, I must say, but I really appreciate the time that you've invested watching this video. I would advise that you like, subscribe, and ring the subscription bell so that anytime I drop a video, you would be first to be informed. Thanks for staying with me. My name is Joe. You have been with me on Business Playbook. Until I come your way next time, cheers.